Games tend to have become easier over the years. Infinite lives and loads of save points have now become an industry standard to help gamers finish a game. But there are some games out there that still demand actual devotion and willpower to finish them. For this video, we looked at franchises with 2 or more games in it, and the series as a whole had to be considered difficult. So sorry Super Meat Boy, I Wanna Be the Guy, Spelunky and Bloodborne, but you are not franchises yet. We hope you're ready because these are our 10 favorite hardcore game franchises ever. The Ghosts and Goblins series is all about King Arthur's quest to save Princess Prin Prin from a demon king. It's best described as an action platformer. The enemies are brutal as they can spawn out of thin air and shoot at you from all angles. This series really requires precision and timing. And talking about timing, there's no way you can take things easy, because there's always that timer counting down. The last game released in the series was a game for the iPhone, but that one is no longer available. Even this toned-down version was too hard for modern game consumers. We still respect gamers that beat Ghosts and Goblins back in the day on the NES. Series like Call of Duty, Medal of Honor and Battlefield have set the tone for modern first-person shooters. Millions of gamers have grown up with these series. But give them a virtual gun in one of the ARMA games and they're bound to fail. ARMA requires a totally different kind of hardcore mindset. This game is all about simulation. Ammo is limited, the weather influences your shots, and being hit means you can bleed out and die.
Contact! Sticksman! Fire at that soldier! North!
Rifleman! 200 meters, front!
Man!
It's a mindset that's no longer common for gamers, as they wall run through levels firing guns with unlimited ammo. At the moment, there are 3 ARMA games on the market, and we suggest you try the latest one if you're looking for hardcore war simulation.
I'm the new actual.
In modern game development, it's not that easy to find games that are truly challenging. But the 2012 release Hotline Miami and its sequel Hotline Miami Wrong Number brought a new level of difficulty to the table. In this top-down shooter, one bullet means instant death. You can instantly restart a level when you're killed, but some enemies behave more unpredictably than others. The speed of the action, cool weapons, and challenging gameplay makes Hotline Miami a great game for hardcore gamers. The art style and especially the music make this series even more memorable. Generally, we don't think of Nintendo games when talking about hardcore. But F-Zero has made a name for itself as being fast and difficult. The first game in this series was released in 1990 as a launch game for the Super Nintendo. Other versions of the games were released on the Game Boy Advance and Nintendo 64. The most recent Western release was F-Zero GX on the GameCube. All the games in this series stayed true to the standard set of the first game, even though GX was developed by Sega. Track memorization and good reflexes are necessary if you want to beat this game. No matter which F-Zero game you play, they're all fast and challenging. The Contra series started in Japanese arcades in 1987 and was quickly followed by computer and console releases. These games might give you unlimited ammo, but the amount of enemies and the bullets coming at you make it very difficult. Thankfully, most of the games in this series can be played in co-op, so you can always blame your friend. Contra 3: The Alien Wars is one of the most memorable games in the series. Hard Corps Uprising is the 13th and last true Contra game released as a downloadable game in 2011. It's a pity there's not more interest in hardcore games like this, because they can be loads of fun.
Huh? Where is he?
Continue. Let's rock.
By advancing up the field, this assault soldier is guaranteed to hit this sectoid.
In 2012, we saw the revival of the XCOM series. This tactical turn-based game is well known for its challenging gameplay. This all started back in 1994 with the release of UFO Enemy Unknown, which was also known as XCOM UFO Defense. No matter whether you are talking about the new XCOM games or the older ones, these surely are challenging titles. The newer ones have some options to make things easier, but a killed team member is still a killed team member who will never be revived. The most recent game, XCOM 2, is also very challenging, and only the best will be able to beat this game on normal or higher difficulty. For the next entry in our list, we go to Japan. A Japanese developer named Zun has been working for over 2 decades on the Touhou Project. These are a series of bullet hell shooters following in the footsteps of games like Ikaruga and Radiant Silvergun. Made by only one man, this series has spawned 15 games and numerous spin-offs. Each one of these games is even more challenging than the others. Over the years, the series has made some sidesteps into other genres, but at the core of the Touhou Project are the most hardcore bullet hell shooters you have ever seen. Sure, it might not look as pretty as many other games, but the challenge is unmatched. Mega Man is all about hardcore action platforming. Enemies jump and fly towards you, block your bullets, or shoot bullets themselves. Thankfully, you have a recharging health bar, but the hardcore platforming and many enemies will still make it difficult. Early games in the series gave you the choice to beat the bosses in any given order. After defeating a boss, you get his power, which added another layer of tactics to the game. Mega Man saw its first release on the NES with follow-ups and spin-offs on the Super Nintendo and PlayStation. Mega Man 9 and 10 were the last games in the series, released digitally on the Wii, Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. If you want a serious gaming challenge, get that Mega Man Legacy Collection. We can really recommend it. Its old-school platforming gameplay is still hardcore to the bone. Over the past few years, everybody has been talking about Dark Souls. But the Souls series actually started with Demon's Souls in 2009. It was followed by 3 Dark Souls games, each of them being considered among the hardest games of the year. All these games take place in a medieval setting where you need to defeat demonic knights, dragons, and monsters that have taken over the world. It's all about timing when you dodge and block incoming attacks. One mistake can mean losing a big chunk of your progress. It's this constant pressure that makes the Souls series so incredibly popular. Before we go to the number 1, let's take a look at some honorable mentions. Ninja Gaiden is one of our favorite hardcore gaming franchises. The first few games can be seen as some of the most challenging titles created for the first Nintendo system. However, the Ninja Gaiden series really gained notoriety for its difficulty with the release of Ninja Gaiden and Ninja Gaiden Black for the Xbox. Its combat is flawless, with its mix of attacking, blocking, dodging, and jumping. It's all about mastering the moves available to you, then applying them at the right moment. Sequels and enhanced versions were released for newer consoles. The hardcore feeling of the series unfortunately died with the departure of director Itagaki, but it still brings 20 years of hardcore gaming to the table. What's the most hardcore game you've ever played? Let us know in the comments, and download the Zoomin Games community app to share your love for games with us and other viewers.